This prequel is something serious. I enjoyed every bit of it. The Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And Rachel, let me tell you, that voice, when is the album dropping, sis?
Yep.
Cute.
Your role is to turn these children into spectacles, not survivors.
Before we get started, you really made headlines with your dress. I mean, I got to know the story behind your recent red carpet nod to our girl, J-Law, Jennifer Lawrence's character from the 2014 sequel, Catching Fire. Was that your idea? And has she texted you yet?
Oh, you know what? It happened to be a really wonderful fashion moment for myself and for my amazing stylist, Sarah Tooley. We weren't expecting to be able to secure the Alexander McQueen dress that I got to wear. And I was so excited to get it because it just reminded me of the silhouette of Jennifer's dress in the films. And I feel really thankful that the public responded the way that they did. But truly, I was just excited to be there to celebrate my film with my peers.
How wonderful that we all get to be here for someone's final performance.
It's not just about winning.
Everything is about winning.
You're monsters! All of you!
You guys are new cast members for this film series, so congratulations. Did you connect at all with any of the OGs? Did they offer any advice? What can you tell us?
No, I wasn't able to, but also I think for me, it's very important to not have any preconceived notions about the way that the story should be told. We have the literature, and that's kind of like the sort of rule book. That's the laws that I give myself for how I approach the movie. So I was trying to be really careful not to, get too caught up in what happened in the original trilogy,
Yeah, I would like to. I haven't met anybody from the previous films, but I feel like me and J-Law would hit it off. I'm trying to have a drink with her.
I
haven't.
One.
You think you're the only one who's
spoken to Jen? I think I might have been the only one. Yeah, I mean, and when I spoke to Jen, it was way after we'd finished production. It was only a couple weeks ago that we happened to be at the same fashion event, and we just talked, and truly, it was just like meeting somebody, just how you meet somebody for the first time. You don't really lead with the whole "I'm this character and you were that character" because that's just not how I roll. But it was really wonderful, and we have so many people in common, and so it was nice to just. It was like catching up with a friend. It's really nice.
I think they've all made an effort to let this be a moment where we get to experience it for the first time, if you know what I mean. Because it is such a standalone, fresh movie that isn't kind of a follow-on. It's its own thing, and I think they've honoured that really sweetly in a way that they've kind of given us space to experience it afresh.
It relieves you of pressure.
Yeah.
Because comparison's inevitable, and they don't want to infringe upon you. Yeah.
Let's see you use that famous snow charm.
Someone else that you all got a chance to work with, Viola Davis, godly, man. But the first scene when I saw her with the little, blue eyeball and the big old afro and the funky...
Imagine how we felt. This came up earlier where I don't think any of us had met her before she came on for the first time. And she came on to do the scene and in all of the whole glamour that you described. I think for everybody it was a little bit like, oh my gosh, and she was so crisp, right off the bat too. I mean,
it was really sweet. Everybody sort of it was like little kids, I don't know, meeting a Cookie Monster or something. That's a weird analogy, but everybody was really giddy because it was just a treat to watch her.
The drama school I went to, she graduated from before me, obviously, and I was like, she's one of my heroes and one of the reasons I went to that drama school. So when I met her, I couldn't help but be like, we went to the same school, I'm trying to follow in your footsteps. And she's a genius. She's a true genius of what we do. And so she led by example. She's very, very gracious, very patient, and just very good at what she does. And I think we were all intimidated to meet her, and she put that to rest so quickly and was just so about the work. And I truly love her a lot.
Yeah, I tried to pick things up through osmosis, just sort of being in the room and watching the way that people worked. It was her, Peter Dinklage, Jason Schwartzman, all film veterans. I'm big fans of all three of them. So anytime I had scenes with them, I just really tried to pay attention to the way that they weaved their dialogue together, because there's a million different ways that you can say a line. There's different colors you can add to it. There's so many different ways, and and they all had completely different approaches that all amounted to incredible products. Like, yeah.
Amen.
Enjoy the show.
5, 4,
Enjoy the show.
3, 2.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
I can only imagine having to film something that's like slightly comedic, but also something that really is almost like a political satire. What was the mood like on set when filming a movie that plays this tug of war with empathy?
Well, it depends on the day, really. I have this nasty habit of, I got a self-defense mechanism where when the mood gets too sad, I just like to make a lot of jokes. So, you know, particularly with like a few of my scenes that get really heavy, I was probably more jovial than I would have been otherwise, weirdly enough. But I think that kind of helped to, you know, not get bogged down by it all, because it's like you said, I mean, some of it gets pretty heavy. Yeah.
I would agree. I think I have some experience filming dark stuff, and I think it yields like a sort of like levity when the camera is not rolling, because it's necessary to sort of you know, to stay grounded and not spiral too hard into like the darkness of what you're filming, you know. So it got pretty fun.
We had an oddly jovial set, you know. It's the reality of making movies is that it's not real, and so you get to have this amazing camaraderie with your crew and your fellow castmates, and Francis Lawrence, our director, really fosters such a familial vibe on set. He carries so many of the same crew members from his previous work, and you can just tell that they all have a deep appreciation and love and respect for each other that seeped into this new generation of Hunger Games castmates. And so it was a lot of goofing around. There's a lot of dancing, a lot of singing, it was really fun. Yeah. I would go back in a heartbeat. It was wonderful.
I kind of describe it as like this big summer camp we were all on together for like 5 or 6 months in Europe. And yes, we're making a big film that asks big human questions, but it also is just like, it's so much fun. Yeah. And I think we all felt like we were joining a family that was already so embracing and so loving.
Welcome to the Capitol.
You look like you shouldn't be here.
I shouldn't, but I'm your mentor.
A rebel.
I am gonna get you out of here.
How did you two build that chemistry off screen? It was just so magnetic from the time she started singing on stage to the time you all met in the cage and everything. How did y'all build that?
I mean, definitely a lot of it comes from the writing. Like the writing is so great that like it's easy for us to just like endow the characters with that truth. But I think we also just happen to get along really well and like have a lot of love for each other. So it's like, you know, we met on set for the first time and Rachel was thrown at the deep end, like straight into like the really physical stuff really early on. So honestly, I just like tried to support her going through that, because my heavy lifting came a little bit later on. And my role was like so much more psychological, whereas Rachel's was so physical. So I think we kind of both leaned on each other throughout the kind of the trials and tribulations of making the Hunger Games. Which there are plenty, because it's like, you know, it's really psychological and really physical at the same time. And yeah, I think we just tried to like lean on each other and be a team as much as possible, which hopefully will carry forward.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've summoned you all here for the 10th annual reaping ceremony, in which we choose 2 children from each district to fight to the death in the Hunger Games.
From District 12, Lucy Gray Bear.
If you could choose 2 celebrities to square up in an arena at the Hunger Games, at the Hunger Games, and this is all fun, which 2 celebrities are you pairing against each other to watch?
Wait, like we are not in the fight. We're just taking 2 celebrities and being like,
oh, wow.
That's a tough question.
That's really hard.
I genuinely have never thought about this.
Yeah.
I guess like John Cena and The Rock or something like that.
Oh.
You know?
I'd want like Aubrey Plaza and then like Natasha Lyonne. I feel like that would be like a really saucy combo.
Okay, so of the 2, which one would win?
I don't know. That's why I picked them.
I feel like Natasha might win. She's yeah.
What are the Hunger Games for?
Hanging
It's the things we love most